myself for 5 minutes for questions. I just wanted to go back to Dr. Volz. The commercial space policy, I think, is a great starting point. I think there's more information that needs to be forthcoming on how to actually interact with NOAA on the commercial capabilities that are out there right now. One of my questions is, right now when it comes to GPS radio occultation, we already have one company with satellites in space that are being tested and validated through UCAR, and we have other companies that are going to be launching next year numerous satellites into space. We heard testimony from you, and it's in your written testimony as well, about the COSMIC program. When we think about commercial applications and we think about the 2010 space policy, commercial space policy, would it not be appropriate to take advantage of these commercial opportunities rather than continue to develop COSMIC for however many millions of dollars that's going to take?
So related to the value, the capabilities of the oncoming commercial capabilities, you mentioned we do have assets now in space. Spire is one organization that has launched some satellites, and there are several others that are likely to launch in the near term. And from the NOAA perspective, we're very interested in seeing the performance of these satellites demonstrated on orbit. The COSMIC program that was launched first in 2006 and has been flying for many years, providing radio occultation to NOAA and integrated into our numerical weather modeling, is a proven and demonstrated performance capability that we've been taking advantage of. The COSMIC 2 is an extension of that, and we expect when the launch occurs in about a year to add those observations into our data system. The value, the potential value of these new commercial ventures are very high, but it's still potential. And I see we should be engaged with them. We should be watching and observing and analyzing the data that come from them once we develop the appropriate interaction engagement mechanism. But it should be compared against some standard, some measurement capability that we have as well with COSMIC already. So I think the both and is the approach I would take in approaching these. I think we need the COSMIC 2 because it continues a necessary measurement, and it will provide an excellent benchmark in comparison for these alternative approaches which use the same method, the same measurement technique, but a different implementation. So validating those on-orbit activities and observations will be key as we go forward, and I look forward to the opportunity to do that.
Your boss, Manson Brown, last month here in D.C. at a business roundtable mentioned that he supports a line item in the President's budget request for a tech demonstration of commercial satellite weather data. Do you also support a line item for commercial satellite weather data?
I support my boss, which is a good start. I do support the principle that we do need a focused effort to demonstrate the capability of these operations. So yes, I would support that. I think, and we've been working within NOAA with the commercial policy that went out and is now being reviewed for updates. On the NESDA side, as we do the actual implementation, we've been working on a process, an engagement process for how we would work with industry, work with potential vendors to provide data, to secure data, to evaluate the data when it comes in, and then decide whether it's capable of supporting a long-term operational contract or contractual mechanism. We had a workshop this Monday, which was well attended by all of at least 3 of the radio occultation potential providers, to talk about how we can have a productive interaction and how we can have a relationship going forward to support exactly that, which would be a demonstration project which could eventually lead to a sustained operational delivery of data.
The line item that Manson Brown talked about, any idea what that dollar amount might be that is going to be in the President's budget request?
I would be speaking from one half of the equation if I know, because I know what it takes for me to develop a satellite and to develop and to process the data, and that's what we're focusing on, what it would take for us to evaluate and to process the data. As far as what the commercial side would need as an investment or a procurement is a part that we still have to explore. So I'm not sure what would be the appropriate price point for our vendors to make their business models close, because obviously that's a very proprietary element on those. But so it's an engagement we need to have to get a better feel for that.
Right, and I would encourage you to engage with those vendors. The great thing for the taxpayer and for the people on this committee is that those commercial vendors are launching into space right now with clients that aren't necessarily NOAA, and that gives us an opportunity to share the costs so that it's not just the U.S. government taking on the burden, but also transportation companies, agricultural companies, insurance companies, et cetera, that are interested in this kind of data. So the price point may be a lot less than what we anticipate, and the idea that they're making the business case without the government involved is positive as well, which only makes it that much more interesting for us to be willing to reach out and purchase that data. I am out of time. I recognize the ranking member, Mr. Byer, for 5 minutes.